It's day 48. I'm still alive in this apocalyptic adventure. What's up, you guys? 17.2 build 27. So they had a small update since we were in here last. It's actually been about a week or so since I've been in here. Oh, hello. How are you? What's your name, lady? Would you like to grab a cup of coffee? No? No? See ya! Alright. You guys enjoy that talk I had when we were in that building over there? I think I spoke about it a little bit on, you know what? Let's go up and over the hill over there. I want to check that place. I know I looked at it from the distance, but I want to go up and over there and see what it is. So, talked about it a little bit on stream. You know, it's like one of those random talks. Used to really like enjoy those enjoy those on like doing the meaty crafts and some other videos, but yeah, it's good stuff. So this is funny driving this Jeep up here because today it was the second day of a colossal snowstorm here in Arizona. Got 22 inches in a day and a half, which, you know, for a lot of people that's probably not that big of a deal, but for here, man, for Flagstaff it was like a 100-year record. You know, you gotta imagine it went from ground that looks like this, sunny, clear, completely dry, to complete winter wonderland, right? And you can imagine places like this aren't really as well equipped for that type of thing as other places that you know, get snow all the time. So anyway, I went out. Today was the first day I could. Today is, for me, is a Friday. It's Friday. What, dude? It's the 22nd. I didn't even say it was 22 day on the social medias. What the deuce, meaty? Get with the program. Well, on 22 day, I got to go out and have some fun and take the Jeep up, you know, through the snow. But I went up into the mountains, and oh boy, got myself in a wee bit of trouble. You know, there hasn't been any ice. It's all snow. But up there, dude, it was like really thick. There was no trails or anything. And when I drove over it, it was fine. When I drove back over it, you know, on my own tracks, for some reason, that snow that got packed down in those tracks was so slippery. I got out. I thought I broke something on my Jeep because I just kept sliding sideways, like I couldn't steer or anything. And everything was fine, obviously. But I fell down, like I slid, you know, I slid and fell on my butt. Because I'm like, wait a minute, this is snow, this isn't ice. Why is it like this, you know? But it was super slippery, really weird, really dry, compacted, super slippery snow. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy cool. So, I mean, look, here, and I explain it, you know, because I was recording. I explained the deal. You can just get all the momentum you want. My Jeep's going to make it up most things, right? The problem here is this is a fire road, which means there's trees. Like, if I'm driving here, that wall is trees. Like, you're driving, if you slide it all, bang, you're into one. IRL. And so that case, you have to be very aware of what your vehicle is doing, like sliding, and very aware of your, you know, applying power to your vehicle, right? Here's the kicker about this. It was, you stand there and look at it, you're like, yeah, it's like a little incline. You know, it went like this. It went down, straight up, and then it turned like this, and as it turned, it went up a hill. And this is lined with trees down both sides. You'll see it in the video. So, hold on. Come here, Papa. Papa, don't let there be. So it, you know, it didn't look like crazy. But I had gotten but I had issues there 2 years ago when it was ice. Because the ice was trying to slide me sideways, boom, into a tree. So here's the deal. I couldn't get momentum. I couldn't go like 80 miles an hour or anything. So I had to utilize everything on my Jeep that I had. So I put it in four-wheel low, I flipped on my compressor. That's my switches. My compressor and both my air lockers. So I locked this and I locked this, which means all 4 tires go. Like a World War II Jeep, that you can't drive it like that on pavement. You can't turn. The Jeep won't turn. You could actually break an axle trying to drive that on pavement or even hard-packed dirt. That's why I have them under air lockers so I can disengage them if I hit something like this. Anyway, so I got out, no problem. I had the pedal to the floor. I crawled up and out of there. But it took, it was impressive. It took everything I had on the Jeep, with the exception, I didn't have to use my winch. I have a winch on there, right? And that winch is there. Oh, nice. Nice. Cripple 'em. That's nice. I can make these, but that's still nice to have. Still nice to find a good one, right? So anyway, if I get into trouble, I could use the winch to help winch my way up. I can also use the winch to pull me, kind of hold me off so I don't slide downhill into a tree. So there's a couple things you can use with a winch. You can do with the winch. Now, I put that winch on when I got the Jeep. Well, not right when I got it. When I got the front bumper, a winch bumper, I put that winch on there. And I've only used the winch once. And I used it... Hold on. Ow. You hear that metal? That's his armor. I used the winch only once in Utah to move a boulder out of the way for the Rangers. And it was on a side cliff. I told you that story before. That was pretty cool. And it worked really good. But it reminded me, it's like, hey, using my air lockers, and I didn't know if the airlines could have water in them and then have frozen, and then my lockers wouldn't work, because I haven't used them forever. It's very rare that I have to use them, but I wanted to have them just in case. I wanted like the ultimate setup. So it reminded me, it's like, hey, I haven't used my winch forever. Like, what if and I don't have the braided metal, I have the rope cable, which it's safer, right? It's a safer setup in case it breaks and goes flying. But they're not designed to last as long because they can be affected by like UV, like by the sun and stuff like that. But I do have a neoprene, like a wetsuit material, a neoprene cover that covers the whole winch housing, which there in turn covers the winch rope, so I don't get sunlight on the rope. So it should still be fine, but I should, try and use it, or at least, test that it works good. Still, you don't want to just leave things to chance until you never want to leave your equipment to test if you need it. Like, then it's too late. Like, if you're out somewhere and you're like, oh, I got stuck, I better use my winch. Uh-oh, my winch isn't working. Something like that. You know what I mean? So, it was pretty cool. Either way, I had a lot of fun. I wish I had more time. I didn't actually get up into the mountains till about 3. And I was up there, and about 4 o'clock, I'm like, I better get out of here, because if it's going to get dark. It was all overcast, and, it's still under the winter kind of hours, That's why, I think that's one of the reasons I love summer so much, is how long the daylight is. I really like that. I really do. So, yeah, that was fun, and I did get some footage. So it's funny, I was talking to the camera. Total classic. I was talking to the camera. I want to see if I have a shovel in here. And it's been so long since I made like oh, there's my other one. Okay, well, I guess I don't need this. I'll put this up there. Put this ammo up there. I'm going to do that with that. What was I saying? Oh, it had been so long since I had recorded like a vlog, whatever you want to call it, that I forgot kind of like how I set my cameras up, and I started recording one and it looked terrible. I'm like, oh my God, it's been like way too long, and I don't know. It's one of those things. Like you think, have you ever? How do I explain this? You ever wanted to do something, right? I don't know what it was. Maybe you wanted to enroll in school. Maybe you wanted to go apply for a new job. Whatever. There was something that you wanted to do, and you literally think about it every day, right? You think about it every day, but you don't do anything about it. But you think about it. That's how it is with me in these vlogs. I was just thinking last night, whilst I was trying to go to sleep at 2 o'clock in the morning. Well, at least I was going to sleep later because I was just watching the snow out the window. You turn on like like a porch light, right? So when the snow falls, you can see it all. And I was watching it, staying up late, and I was like, man, way to go, Chris. Talking to myself in first person. I talked about like really all these wonderful, great creative ideas that I had for 2019. And when I was talking about it was like first week of December. And I'm like, here we are already 2 months into 2019. And I haven't done any of them. So yeah, that's a thing. That is a thing. It's just weird, right? How like time flies. Everyone knows. Like, I think it depending on your age. Like, I remember like in high school and stuff like that when I'm like, oh man, there was something I wanted to do. I was like, wish it was already next month, or maybe there's a video game coming out that you want to play. And you're like, man, I wish it was already 3 months from now. But then it comes a time. There's a cop right there. Then there comes a time where you're like, oh my gosh, 2 months just went by. Like time just totally is flying by, and you're like, what the heck? Why is time flying so fast? It's so weird how I think it kind of adjusts as you get older. Time is not on your side. I know it sounds weird, but trust me, when people ask me, Meaty, are you looking forward to this game? And it's coming out like at the end of the year. I'm like, not really. Like, not really, because I'm trying not to look that far into the future. But yeah, it's one of those things though. Like I said, I was talking out loud about doing all these things, and it's things that I really want to do, and I hadn't done any of them. But today, getting out there like in the worst conditions possible, it's like I usually don't make videos like in the rain or snow. It's always, decent weather, so that it's not a problem of something going wrong with your cameras. Where today it's like pouring snow and it was dry, then it was wet, and it was crazy. And like, well, whatever, I'm doing this. But it kind of like got me excited again. I remember why I like doing that stuff and why I like sharing it. It's not for me. I don't know if it's the opposite of most YouTubers or if it's the same. It could be a little bit of both. But for me, it's not about going and making a video. For me, it's about the stuff that I do and then sharing that with you guys and sharing that with people, right? I take the Jeep and I go off-road and I go hiking, I go camping, I go shooting. A lot of things that doesn't cost you a lot of money to do on a daily basis. Yes, it costs money to get equipment. Yes, it costs money, if you want to get a Jeep, but you don't have to have a dang Jeep. You can have an old pickup truck or something, But what I'm saying is you can do these things on a daily basis where it's not like you're shelling out a bunch of coin just to go do something. And I like sharing that stuff with you guys. But again, I really think it was when, and you guys, I know about the gun videos on YouTube. I know that there's still almost all the channels that were gun channels to begin with are still doing it, but they're supporting through Patreon. They're just demonetizing their videos and they're supporting them through Patreon, which is great, which is fine for them, right? But that's not for me because I don't only make gun videos, right? That's not the only thing I do. And my big fear always, and I can't get an answer. I could never get a straight answer. Is it would demonetize everything. It basically demonetizes the channel, right? They're not going to push your channel. They're not going to alert you to my videos. So if I'm hiking or off-roading or camping or doing whatever, it's going to be like, oh, this is that gun guy. Let's not push his videos. You know what I mean? So I just stopped. And honestly, I was thinking about doing them again. And the last 3 times I went out shooting, I started to develop this. It's been bad weather for a while now, so I haven't gone in about a month. But the last time I went out, it was, is this the Bat Cave? Dude, hold on. This is the Bat Cave. Look, there's the exit. Right there. This is the Bat Cave, dudes. We're going in. That front door is open. The funny thing was, the last couple of times I was out, I was really testing some stuff out. I was testing. And I took a camera just so I could watch it back. I wanted to hear what that gun sounded like. I wanted to hear what that suppressor sounded like. And I don't know, in a way, maybe it's just I lost my edge for doing it. Like, I know that I'm not going to be doing it or possibly not doing it. So I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't know why I would even want to record this, you know? But I had so many cool ideas to make some really cool gun videos, right? Like, you know how at the end there I started doing multiple camera angles. I was going to, a couple times I used the drone just as a flyover. I actually got a spotting scope off Amazon for pretty cheap, but I got a mount for like, you can mount your phone to the spotting scope. So I was going to do like a picture-in-picture where when I did long range, like way over there, I'd have my phone looking through the spotting scope so you could see the target like 500 meters away. And you'd see me, and then the little inlay, you could see that. I thought that was going to be cool. I was doing the, where the camera was right here, and you look down the sights of the gun, music, so just some different stuff, rather than me just sitting there bumping my gums than shooting, But that was just before, they said, no more, no, we don't want to, we're not going to support this. So, I know for a fact that really, really put a, like maybe you get excited about something and then you tell someone, hey, I want to do this, and like, that's really dumb, or you can't do that. It really broke all my motivation, and it kind of went over into my regular vlog ideas too. Like, I just like, it's not even about the views, because like I said, I'm not setting out to make a video. I'm setting out on an adventure and then sharing that with you guys, right? And if it's fun and something when people want to see, then people are going to watch it. Well, I don't know. All that being said, today, after I went out, I was doing all that stuff. And I'm like, man, that was super fun, right? That was super fun. It was fun recording. It was fun thinking of the different camera angles to where you guys could really get the full experience of what was going on. Yeah, it was just fun. So maybe this is going to get my motivation back up to share some of these adventures again, because I think it would be really fun. I think it'd be really fun. And I do have the whole thing where, my I want to say health. It's not really my health. Well, I guess it is your health, but my diet, all that stuff, getting back to exercising and trying to get healthy again and lose some weight and cut my hair and, just feel better about myself. Yeah, that was going to be, I still want to do that as a whole series on Chris X, along with getting back out into the forest. But this winter, I mean, for you guys as well, you guys know this better than I do, but this winter's been rough. I mean, that East Coast cold front that went through when it was like minus 40 degrees, it's been very cold here. It hasn't been like great weather for it hasn't been great weather for doing anything outside. It really hasn't. So, something to keep in mind. Yeah, it's just nice to have gone out just for 2 hours, Yeah, You know, it was funny. It's like I had a problem with remembering how I set up my cameras and stuff, but the good thing was I didn't forget how to do different camera angles and tell a good story, right? It's really about telling the story. There's a story of a lovely lady. Neener, 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 noo. All right, what do we have in here? Backpack, please. So that was another little, a little talk about something other than the video game, which I think is fun. I think it's fun, especially on games like this, because... Do I go upstairs or do I go in here? There's the light. Caroline. I think there's supposed to be something across here, maybe. You know, so you go through there and then come up here. Oh, shoot. Big boy. He is super fast. Takes the shotgun. Oh, no, you're still alive. Did I check that? I did check that. Yeah, I still have all the... See, the good thing about it is, just because I didn't execute them in a timely fashion, like, oh, I want to do it starting, you know, in January. Just because I didn't do that doesn't mean that I've abandoned the actual ideas that I had. I still have the same ideas. I still have plenty of time to do them, right? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. See, this is another good one. The Bat Cave. There's just not that many of these in here. That's why I would say that apartment building is my favorite. But this one is super cool. They did a really good job on this particular POI. Point of interest, you say? Oh, shoot. Hello. And you, where'd you come from? Wow. I was just standing there getting pummeled. All right. Some honey. So yeah, I still got all the ideas. I have them all written down. You know, I always do that. That's one good thing I could recommend to you guys. I know in this modern day, this modern age of technology, whether you use your phone to make notes, it doesn't matter what you use. It doesn't matter what you use. But make notes. I still use Post-it notes. I use like a little notebook, stuff like that. Because if you've got a lot of stuff going on, you know, I think most of us do. I think most everyone does. If you're anything like me, if you got a lot of stuff going on, you're one of those kind of critical thinkers where you're always thinking about everything, right? You're not just thinking about one thing. You're like, oh, I can focus on one thing and remember everything. Well, I can't. I remember everything, and when you have everything remembered, it's hard to organize that, right? That didn't make any sense. Where the heck? Oh, it's right here. So yeah, I recommend writing things down, you guys. Like, seriously, write things down, because it's so... No, we got a bleeder. I was just getting my health up through food and water, and I get clobbered. All right. Clobbered. Yeah, write things down, because look, you can revisit things months later, and even if you partially write something down, it's enough to like spur that memory. Like, what was I thinking when what was that thing I was, oh, I remember, because you wrote down like a little note about it. Yeah, so I got everything written down, and all my ideas, basically, they're not like in stone, you know. It's like, oh, it's exactly like this. No, it's like an idea, and that idea then can be acted upon, right? The idea can be acted upon. I've noticed that purses in this game, the last like 10 purses, whether it's here or the Yaw server, have had nothing in them. I wonder if that's part of the thing now, when they do like an update. I'm only at 150 and 150. I should really spend some points on my health and stamina. Oh, right there. that's the problem with the scope. You scope in like that. Okay, well, he exploded. He just did some... There goes the library. I thought I put enough bullets on him, but apparently not. That dude just went off. See, I've always been a... You know, I kind of like my YouTube stuff has always kind of been how I am in real life, you know. I don't like saying things before I actually am doing it because I hate like like unkept promises or you know, you start something and then you stop it. Like it drives me bonkers. So I never do that. Well, that's another thing that was kind of playing. Oh, there's stuff in here, isn't there? That's another thing that's kind of playing on my mind because I started talking about all this stuff and I didn't follow through with it. So it's almost, what do you call that? Like self-punishment, you know? I'm like punishing myself. It sounds weird, but I guess I hope you understand what I'm saying. You know, you're like, yeah, why'd you say that? Why didn't you just do it instead of all that stuff? Medical supplies, ammo. I went down there before, and I don't think there was anything down there worth getting. You just... Oh, no. Is that the way we go down? I have to double check. I think that's the way we go down. I know there was stuff up here. So, yeah, that's just a little insight into the mind of Meaty. You're weird. I know. See, if you fall down there, you're going to fall all the way back down to that bedroom. What kind of junk is that? You got any lamb rations in here? Oh, I'll take that. Honey. All right. I don't remember if it's up there or if it's in that elevator thing. I don't remember. Do you remember? There was a time. Okay, there's that. You guys, if you guys like, again, I know most of you guys do, but if we're playing in a thing like this where we're working our way through somewhere, you like these kind of talks, make sure you hit that like button. Let me know, you know. Let me know. Leave a comment down below. If you guys want to share some of the things, you know, yourselves. Like if you get what I'm saying, and I know there was some people like Fat Bear and some other people like really relate to some of these stories, right? Like, hey, I have the same problem about like my sleeping and stuff like that. People relate, and that's what makes for interesting stories when you can relate to them, you know? All right, that's going to do it for this episode. I'm going to come back, and we're going to finish off the Bat Cave in the next episode. Thanks for watching, you guys.